Back in the day, you rode whatever had two wheels and a heartbeat. Your back didn't hurt, your knees didn't crack, and comfort was an afterthought. But now you've earned the right to ride something that doesn't beat you up. That's where Japanese naked bikes come in. No plastic nonsense, no backbreaking, just upright comfort wrapped in reliable engineering. Whether you're returning to riding or never left, these machines were built to respect your age, not ignore it. Let's find the one that'll make you fall in love with riding all over again. Number 20, Yamaha MT10. At first glance, the Yamaha MT10 looks like something a 25-year-old would ride to an underground street race. But here's the surprise, it's actually one of the most comfortable leader-class naked bikes for older riders who still want thrill without the ache. The upright bars, spacious seat, and wide cockpit give you the feeling of control without forcing you to crouch or stretch. Many riders over 45 say it's the most comfortable big bike they've ever ridden. One review even said, "It looks like a monster, but it is like a sofa that can fly." Used models hover around $8,000 to $10,000, while newer ones can climb past $14,000. Is it cheap? Number. But you're getting a bike that'll make you laugh inside your helmet every single time. You'll feel the power when you twist the throttle, but you won't feel the pain after an hour on the road. And for men who still want excitement, but don't want sore wrists or a numb back, this might just be the last wild thing you need in the garage. And what's even wilder, there is another bike on this list that's smaller, calmer, and somehow even more forgiving. Number 19, Honda CB400 Superour. The Honda CB400. Superour doesn't shout, it doesn't flash. But for riders over 45, it might be the most pleasant surprise on the entire list. Built mostly for the Japanese market, this little machine is smooth, balanced, and comfortable in ways that don't make the spec sheet, but definitely make your back and knees happy. With its low seat, neutral riding stance, and gentle power delivery, the CB400 is a bike you can ride all day. A rider in his 50s described it as effortless, polite, and somehow still fun. That's a rare combination these days. It weighs around 450 pounds, sips gas like a scooter, and holds its own at highway speeds. You're not going to win races, but you will win long weekends and daily rides where you arrive home relaxed instead of worn out. Used models can be found between $3,000 and $6,000, mostly imported or purchased from collectors who know its value. If you can find one, especially a well-maintained example, grab it. You'll wonder why the whole world isn't talking about this gem. And speaking of underrated gems, there is a bike that steps things up with a bigger engine, modern comfort, and a whole lot of respect from real riders. 18. Honda CB1000R. Here's a naked bike that doesn't act like a teenager. The Honda CB1000R is muscular, yes, but it carries itself with grace. It's one of those bikes that looks mean, but rides mature. And for men over 45, that's a gift. You sit upright, your legs fall naturally, your hands rest where they should. And best of all, the suspension soaks up bumps like a luxury cruiser. One review from a rider in his 60s said, "It's like riding a big, smooth animal that knows exactly what you need." The CB1000R doesn't overwhelm you, it invites you. Whether you're cruising at 50 miles per hour or leaning into a gentle corner, it stays calm, steady, and refined. You get all the power you could want without the twitchiness or strain that comes with sportier machines. Prices on clean used models range from $7,000 to $11,000, and many of them are in fantastic shape because these bikes are usually owned by riders who know how to take care of them. If you've made it this far, chances are you've got great taste in bikes. Go ahead and tap that like button and subscribe. Also, if you're looking for something that looks strong, feels refined, and won't beat you up after 2 hours, this Honda delivers. If you want something else, there is another bike that's not flashy, but it is confident, and that might be exactly what you need. Number 17, Yamaha FZ1. This one's a sleeper hit, the Yamaha FZ. One doesn't scream for attention, but the moment you sit on it, you'll understand why it still has a cult following, especially among riders over 50 who don't want to bend like origami just to enjoy a ride. The seat is wide and plush, the bars are high and relaxed, and the whole riding triangle just feels right. This bike weighs around 480 pounds and carries a 26-inch seat height that's low enough for comfort but high enough for road presence. The engine, yes, it's fast, but what matters is how mellow it feels when you're cruising. You can roll through towns at 40 miles per hour in top gear, or crack it open on a back road and feel the smooth surge of that inline four. It never strains, and neither do you. Used models are a steal. Many sell between $3,000 and $6,000, and most of them were owned by grown-ups who babied them. The reliability record is stellar. And it's a bike that can do daily commutes, weekend trips, and even long tours without begging for back support. One older rider wrote, "After years of sport bikes, this is the first bike that doesn't punish me for having knees from the 80s. It's the kind of machine that makes you smile as soon as you swing a leg over." And if you think that sounds too good to be true, wait till you meet a forgotten V-twin heavyweight that just might be comfier than your old couch. Number 16, Suzuki SV1000. The SV1000 is one of those rare bikes that quietly disappeared from the spotlight, but never truly left the hearts of riders who knew what it offered. It's the big brother of the beloved SV650, but this one packs more power, more comfort, and more soul, especially for men over 45 who want a little more thump without the back-breaking stance or the crazy weight of a full-size cruiser. At the heart of this machine is a V-twin engine that delivers its power in a way that's confident but never chaotic. You won't be dealing with a jerky throttle or aggressive top-end surges. Instead, the SV1000 gives you linear, meaty torque that pulls hard from low RPMs. It's the kind of engine that makes every ride feel like a conversation, not a shouting match. Just twist the throttle and it grumbles forward, smooth and steady like a freight train that had a few too many espressos. At around 480 pounds, this thing is easy to handle, way more so than you'd expect from a 1000cc bike. It feels planted but not cumbersome. Add a low seat height of just under 31 inches, and you've got a bike that allows most riders to flat foot with ease, especially important for older riders who want confidence at red lights or during slow maneuvers. The ergonomics are spot on: wide handlebars, neutral riding position, and a seat that actually respects your rear end. No crouching, no stretching. Just a relaxed, upright stance that feels natural, whether you're riding across town or slabbing down the interstate. Riders in their 50s and 60s repeatedly say the SV1000 is one of the few large bikes that just feels right the moment you swing a leg over. Now let's talk value. These bikes are becoming rare. Production ended years ago, but you can still find well-loved models on the used market, typically between $3,000 and $5,000. Many were owned by mature riders who maintain them well, meaning there are gems out there with low miles and clean histories. And yes, parts are still available, so you're not buying into a maintenance nightmare. What makes the SV1000 truly special is that it delivers the character of a big cruiser, the low-end grunt, the comfortable stance, the road presence, without the bulk or the boat-like handling. You get performance, comfort, and that raw V-twin personality in a bike that still looks damn good parked at a bike night. Do you think that's where the V-twin magic ends? Then you're wrong. Hang tight, because the next bike we're looking at is an even more laid-back legend from Japan, and it redefines what easy riding really means. Number 15, Kawasaki W800. This Kawasaki motorcycle isn't trying to be modern. It's not trying to be fast. What it is trying to be is gentle, stable, and surprisingly soothing, especially for riders who remember when motorcycles were simple, soft riding and made you feel something other than back pain. This bike weighs around 496 pounds with a seat height just over 31 inches. That means it's easy to mount, easy to control, and effortlessly balanced at low speeds. The big mirrors, plush seat, and wide upright handlebars all work together to create a riding position that says one thing: take it easy. And then there's the engine, a smooth, air-cooled vertical twin that doesn't buzz, doesn't surge, and doesn't beg to be wrung out. It just chugs along with enough torque to cruise at 60 miles per hour without breaking a sweat. It's the kind of engine that gives you confidence, not a complication. Riders love this bike for its predictability. One man in his late 40s said, "It's the first bike my wife didn't complain about after an hour." And that kind of praise, that says a lot. New models go for around $10,000, but if you're lucky, you can find lightly used ones in the $6,000 to $8,000 range. These aren't beaters either. They're often cared for by older riders who know what they have and treat their bikes like family. Many come with full service records and still look brand new. This isn't a bike you buy to show off. This is a bike you buy because it treats you right. No gimmicks, no touchscreens, no aggressive suspension to ruin your spine. It's calm, it's classy, and it whispers with every ride. Take your time, enjoy the moment, breathe. Liking this list so far? Hit that like and subscribe to our channel. And if you thought this bike was relaxing, Wait until you meet a new age classic with a touch more street style, but the same low-stress energy that might just make it the most relaxing ride of this whole bunch. Number 14. Honda CB750 Hornet. When Honda brought back the Hornet name, a lot of people expected something wild. What they got instead was something much more useful. A bike that fits right into real life, especially for riders over 45 who want comfort first and flash second. This CB750 Hornet weighs just under 460 pounds with a seat height of 31 inches, a sweet spot that gives most men a strong sense of control without feeling too cramped. The handlebars are wide and natural, the pegs are placed well below your knees, and the whole setup feels built for your body. One older rider put it best: "It feels like Honda actually listens to what we need." That's rare these days. Its engine has more than enough push for highway cruising, but it's so smooth and predictable in the lower revs that you never feel forced to hustle. It's a bike that says, take it easy, but keep going. New, it sells for around $8,000, and early reviews are calling it Honda's best midweight naked in years. It's modern, yes, but not intimidating. And that's the sweet spot for guys who want to enjoy the ride, not fight the machine. Number 13. Yamaha XSR700. The Yamaha XSR700 doesn't need to impress you. It's not loud, it's not heavy, and it doesn't try too hard. What it is comfortable, reliable, and just the right mix of old school and modern, especially for men who appreciate simple pleasures. This machine tips the scales around 410 pounds and comes with a seat height of 32 inches, high enough to stretch out your legs, but low enough to flat foot at lights. The riding triangle is relaxed, upright, and built for hours on the road. And the parallel twin engine? It's soft-spoken when you want it to be, but has plenty of pull when the road opens up. You'll never feel bored, but you'll also never feel beat up after a ride. That balance is what makes it special. Riders over 45 praise it for its calm demeanor and effortless ride. It doesn't try to dominate the ride, it joins you in it. Used models go for $5,000 to $7,000 depending on condition. And you'll find that many were owned by riders who cared, guys who actually kept up with maintenance and didn't thrash it like a sport bike. The best part is the styling. It gives you that retro vibe without sacrificing comfort. You get the look of something vintage with the ride of something built for today. If you want a bike that's heavier, smoother, and might just be the most balanced machine Suzuki has made in over a decade, then stick with us. Number 12. Suzuki GSX8S. When Suzuki released the GSX8S, the reviews poured in, and they weren't just positive, they were surprised. Nobody expected a midweight naked to be this well-balanced, this comfortable, and this easy to ride for hours. At 468 pounds, it feels planted but never cumbersome. The seat height of just over 32 inches gives you plenty of legroom without making mounting a chore. The SEAT, firm enough for support, soft enough for distance, and the handlebars are positioned in that perfect grab-and-go height that keeps your shoulders relaxed, not hunched. The parallel twin engine delivers a calm, predictable ride. No jerks, no twitch. Just smooth linear power that feels like it was made for long stretches of asphalt. It's the kind of ride that lets you take deep breaths while the bike hums beneath you. Riders in their 50s have called it shockingly good, especially for its price point, which lands around $9,000 new and $6,000 to $7,000 used. That's a solid deal for a bike that nails comfort, stability, and ease of use. One reviewer summed it up perfectly. "This is the first naked bike I could see myself keeping for life." That's the kind of praise you don't toss around lightly. But what if you want something even lighter? A bike that makes every ride feel like a gentle breeze? You're about to find out. Number 11. Kawasaki Z900. Some bikes ask too much from you. Too much lean, too much wrist, too much discomfort in the name of speed. But the Kawasaki Z900, it gives you near leader-class performance in a package that feels like an old friend, especially if you're over 45 and your body's not interested in punishment anymore. Let's start with the seating position, upright, relaxed, and wide. You don't lean forward, you sit into it. The seat height is just under 32 inches, which means even shorter riders can get both feet down without a struggle. The overall weight clocks in around 468 pounds, but you'd swear it's lighter. It carries its weight low and steady, making parking lots and city streets feel effortless. The engine is smooth as silk. With torque that doesn't hit hard, it builds. You can cruise in fourth gear at 40 miles per hour, and it'll feel like the bike is just stretching its legs. Riders in their 50s call the Z900 a perfect balance of power and comfort. One man even said, "It's the only fast bike I've ever ridden that didn't punish me for having a bad back." New models come in around 10,000, and used ones drop to 6,000 or 7,000 depending on mileage. And because the ZV900 doesn't attract crazy stunt riders or track fanatics, used models are often clean and well cared for. You get everything you want: power, comfort, real-world usability, without sacrificing your shoulders or sanity. And if you like the idea of this bike but want something with just a bit more throwback personality, there is one that checks all the boxes. Number 10. Yamaha MT07. Some motorcycles feel like they were designed by engineers. The Yamaha MT07 feels like it was built by somebody who actually rides. And not just any rider, a mature rider. Someone who knows that comfort, balance, and simplicity matter more than raw horsepower or gimmicks. This bike weighs just about 403 pounds, making it one of the lightest mid-weight naked bikes on the market. That low weight translates into easy control, especially at slower speeds or in tight corners. The seat height is just over 32 inches, which is high enough to stretch your knees, but low enough to feel planted at stops. The twin-cylinder engine gives you a thumpy, friendly power delivery that's predictable and calm, but still engaging. You won't be overwhelmed, but you'll never feel underpowered. Older riders love this bike because it doesn't fight you. It works with you. The handlebars are up high, your legs fall naturally, and the suspension doesn't jar your spine every time you hit a pothole. And because the MT07 doesn't try to be overly techy or futuristic, you're left with a simple, solid, and deeply satisfying riding experience. New models come in around $8,000, and used ones, depending on condition, can go for $5,000 to $6,000. It's a favorite for a reason: low maintenance, easy to handle, and ridiculously fun. If you want something that's easy to love and hard to outgrow, this is it. We're only halfway through, and the bikes just keep getting better. If you're enjoying this ride, drop a like and subscribe so you don't miss what's still coming. Number 9. Kawasaki ZRX1200R. Some motorcycles just have an aura. The Kawasaki ZRX1200R doesn't whisper, it growls. And when you roll up on one, people notice. Not because it's flashy, but because it's got presence. Big, bold, muscular. This is a bike that looks like it lifts heavy and eats steak for breakfast. Why do people love this machine? Because it feels like a throwback to the days when motorcycles were simple, powerful, and honest. You swing a leg over the ZRX and you feel like a street legend, not some app-controlled robot. It's got a huge tank, a wide seat, and that old-school fairing that screams attitude without trying too hard. This isn't a bike for show-offs, it's for riders. People who want to grip the bars, twist the throttle, and feel alive. The ZRX doesn't ask you to be perfect. It doesn't care if you're wearing the latest jacket or riding with a Bluetooth headset. It just wants you to ride hard, fast, and free. It's comfortable, too. That big seat is like sitting on a padded muscle. You could ride for hours and still want more. And when you twist the throttle, oh man, it delivers. Smooth, thunderous pull, the kind that puts a grin on your face and makes traffic feel like a joke. And despite its tough look and big size, the ZRX is surprisingly easy to live with. Maintenance is simple. Reliability is rock solid. And you can still find clean ones for under $6,000. That's insane for a bike that looks and feels this good. The Kawasaki ZRX1200R is more than a motorcycle. It's a time machine. It brings back the days when riding was raw, real, and glorious. And once you're hooked on that smooth inline-4 feel, you're going to love a true middleweight classic that's been winning riders over for decades. Number 8. Yamaha MT09. If you're a man over 45 and want a bike that feels like an extension of your body, the Yamaha MT09 is where precision meets comfort. This isn't a race machine. It's a refined street fighter that's surprisingly gentle when you want it to be, but still lets loose when you twist that throttle. The seat sits at a comfortable height of just under 32 inches, and the riding position is neutral. No wrist pain, no cramped knees, just you and the road. At around 460 pounds, it's light enough for city riding, but stable on the highway. You get a triple-cylinder engine with about 115 horsepower, but forget the numbers. What matters is how it feels. Riders say the torque delivery is smooth, the suspension plush. And even after 2 hours of riding, there's no need to stretch. One review put it best: "It's the only bike that makes me feel younger without making me act stupid." Brand new, the MT09 will run you about $10,000. Used models, you'll find clean ones for around $7,000. And here's the thing: it looks wild but behaves like a gentleman when you want it to. Now, if you thought this was balanced, wait until you see what happens when you mix comfort and throw in a bit more attitude. Number 7. Suzuki Inuma 250. If you've ever wished for a bike that's simple, reliable, and honest, the Suzuki Inuma 250 is exactly what you're looking for. It may not have the flash of a Ducati or the scream of a CBR, but what it does have is so much more important. This is a machine that never lets you down, never tries too hard, and never asks for more than it gives. The Inuma 250, also known as the GW250, is a true naked bike. No clutter, no fairings, no distractions, just a clean and functional street fighter that's built to do the job and look good doing it. Powered by a fuel-injected parallel twin engine that puts out around 24 horsepower, it's not about speed, it's about control, it's about stability, and most of all, it's about dependability. You get a low seat height of just over 30 inches, which means pretty much any rider can flat-foot this thing at a red light. It weighs around 404 pounds, wet, so it's light enough for beginners, yet stable enough for older riders who don't want a bike that feels like a top-heavy mule. The suspension is comfortable, the seating position is upright, and the handlebars are wide enough to give you confidence on every corner. This bike was built for real-world riding, city commutes, light touring, or just carving up a country road on a slow Sunday morning. It doesn't complain, it doesn't overheat, and the best part is that it sips fuel like a gentleman. Riders often report over 70 miles per gallon. That's not a typo. 70. With a fuel tank that holds just under 4 gallons, you're looking at a potential range of over 250 miles before stopping. That means less time at gas stations and more time enjoying the road. Used models are cheap, like really cheap. You can often find one in great condition for under $3,000. And since it's Suzuki, the parts are plentiful and the maintenance is dirt simple. Oil changes, chain maintenance, brake pads, it's all easy DIY territory. But what really makes the Inuma special is how it feels. It doesn't try to impress. It doesn't beg for attention. It just quietly becomes your favorite bike, the one you trust, the one you take out when other bikes are too loud or too demanding. It's the gentle friend that always shows up. And once you ride one, you'll see why this forgotten little naked has a cult following in countries that rely on motorcycles as daily lifelines. The Inuma isn't just a budget commuter, it's a testament to what happens when a bike is designed with purpose, not just marketing. Number 6. Suzuki SV650. The Suzuki SV650 is the bike that many riders come back to, not because it's the fastest, not because it's the most high-tech, but because it just works, year after year, mile after mile. If you're over 45 and want comfort without fluff, the SV650 delivers in spades. Its V-twin engine produces just under 75 horsepower, but the real magic is in its character. Torque is immediate, the power band is linear, and it's fun even at slower speeds. Add a comfy seat, upright ergonomics, and a sub-32-inch seat height, and what you get is a true all-day machine. The weight, around 430 pounds. That means it's not intimidating, even if it's your first naked bike in years. And let's not forget, this bike has been refined for decades. Used models from 2020 and up go for as little as $5,000. And the value? Unmatched. The SV650 has been called the jack of all trades, and not without reason. Weekend canyon runs, daily commutes, relaxed Sunday rides, it does it all with grace and reliability. Many have said the SV650 was Suzuki's best trick, but one bike adds a splash of retro cool with surprising comfort for older riders who still want to turn heads. Number 5. Kawasaki Z650RS. Some bikes make you smile before you even start them. The Kawasaki Z650RS is one of those. It's not just a motorcycle, it's a time machine, dressed in modern reliability and old-school charm. This is a bike built for men who grew up on muscle cars, vinyl records, and real throttle response. It's lightweight, nimble, and comfortable, with a classic round headlight, spoked-style wheels, and a retro paint job that makes younger riders stop and stare. But underneath that vintage look sits a modern heart, a parallel twin 650cc engine that's smooth, responsive, and won't overwhelm you. The seat is low and cushy, making it easy to swing your leg over, even after a long day. The handlebars are higher and wider than your average naked sport bike, which means no more hunching over. And unlike many modern bikes, it doesn't force you to download an app just to change your settings. It's analog, it's straightforward. Used models can be found around $7,000, while new ones retail near $9,000. That's a lot of bike for the money, especially when you factor in the looks, reliability, and pure joy of riding it. Owners praise the Z650RS for being the perfect daily rider. It's fun, comfy, and easy to ride in the city or on country roads. And yet, it still has enough power to put a grin on your face every time you twist the throttle. But if you think this retro-styled machine is good, wait until you have a bike that delivers even more comfort without losing the raw, naked feel. Number 4, Honda CB500F. Sometimes you just want a bike that gets out of the way and lets you enjoy the ride. The Honda CB500F is exactly that. It's not flashy, it doesn't shout, but it's built with the kind of honesty and quality that made Honda a legend in the first place. This is the motorcycle you buy when you've had enough of the drama. It's light, low, and incredibly easy to ride. With a 471cc parallel twin engine that delivers smooth, linear power, the CB500F feels like an extension of your body. You twist the throttle, and it responds without hesitation, without fuss. At just over 400 pounds, it's light enough to maneuver easily in traffic, parking lots, or tight corners. The ergonomics are relaxed, with a comfortable, upright riding position that won't punish your back or wrists. And the seat height is low enough for most riders to plant both feet on the ground. Used models go for as low as $4,500. New ones retail around $7,000. Either way, you're getting Honda's famous build quality and a motor that'll last decades. Riders consistently praise the CB500F as the ultimate beginner or returning rider's bike. But make no mistake, it's plenty capable for experienced riders too. It's simple, it's reliable, and it's surprisingly fun when you push it a little. But we're not done yet. Are you still with us? That probably means you love motorcycles that make sense. Hit like and subscribe so you're first in line when the next list drops. Now let's get into the top 3. Number 3, Kawasaki Z750. Some bikes don't try to be everything. They just show up, do their job, and earn respect over time. The Kawasaki Z750 is one of those bikes. No fancy electronics, no digital distractions, just a pure mechanical machine that feels like it was built for riders, not for computer programmers. People love this bike because it feels like an extension of you. The handling is smooth, the power is strong without being scary, and it's comfortable enough to ride all day. There's nothing complicated here, just a well-balanced ride that makes you feel in control, whether you're cruising through traffic or slicing up a mountain road. What really makes the Z750 stand out is its attitude. It's got that street fighter look, a little aggressive, a little rough around the edges, but underneath, it's all heart. Riders who own this bike will tell you the same thing. It's reliable, it's tough, and it's easy to live with. It doesn't ask for much, but it gives you everything. You don't need to baby this thing. It's the kind of bike you can ride hard, park dirty, and it'll still fire up the next morning ready for more. It's also surprisingly comfortable, upright seating, a decent seat, and just enough wind protection to get you through longer rides without feeling like your spine's been rearranged. Best part is you can still find used ones in great shape for under $4,000. That's a whole lot of motorcycle for not a lot of money, and it looks like $1,000,000. Blacked out frame, muscular stance, and just the right amount of muscle. The 750 isn't just a motorcycle, it's a statement. It tells the world you don't need gadgets to ride with style. But what if I told you that there's another Japanese naked that comes with a side of crazy value, a legend that's been overlooked for years? Number 2, Yamaha XSR900. Men over 45 who riding the XSR700 will feel at home on the XSR900, but end up riding into a whole new drama-free performance world. This bike blends retro style with modern comfort in a way that feels like it respects your body, not punishes it. At a seat height of 32.1 inches and a wet weight around 425 pounds, the XSR900 is neutral and balanced. That's nearly the same platform as the 700. But with about 20 extra pounds, giving it extra stability without making it feel heavier on the road. Compared to its little brother, the XSR700 feels more steady at highway speeds thanks to cruise control, traction modes, and cornering ABS, all features missing on the 700. While the XSR700 might win on gasoline mileage and nimbleness around town, the XSR900 wins on ride versatility and long-distance comfort. Riders frequently mention it feels like riding a modern classic, and that the XSR900 just does everything so much better. New pricing starts at about $10,000, while used examples from the last few years hover between $7,000 and $9,000, depending on age and mileage. Want retro style with modern polish, more torque without more strain, electronics without confusion? The XSR900 delivers. And if you think this niceness is good, then you'll like our number one. It is comfort with Japanese tradition and a plush feel. The Honda CB1100EX. This Honda CB is a timeless machine built for riders who remember when bikes had character and still want comfort, reliability, and a seat that doesn't wreck your lower back. With its classic wire-spoke wheels, round headlamp, and understated elegance, it's a bike made to ride slow and feel good. The seat height is just over 31 inches, and the wet weight sits near 540 pounds, making it heavy enough to be stable, but balanced so you feel grounded, not stuck. With around 88 horsepower, the ride is confident in traffic and composed on the freeway, and with 4.5 gallons of fuel capacity, you get range without constant stops. Reviews consistently hail how little vibration reaches your hands or feet even after long rides, and how the frame soaks up bumps better than many modern standards. Owners over 50 call it one of the most give-back bikes they've ever ridden. One man wrote, "After a half day on this bike, I felt better than I did when I started." A used 1100EX models go for around $7,000 to $9,000, while newer or final edition examples can touch $11,000 to $12,000, depending on mileage and condition. This is a bike that gives presence without demand, style without strain, power without chaos. It reminds you of simpler times while taking care of your back and shoulders. Comfortable from the word go. And don't stop here, click on the next video, it's right up your alley. If you enjoyed this one, hit like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments.